how you found your first motivated seller as a high school student last year and how you're finding your motivated sellers this year, 2025.
I was doing everything pretty much. I sent out, I think, 5,000 letters, each at 85 cents. So now there's a software, an AI software that can basically do everything for you.
And how long did it take to basically go through that process of selecting 2, 3 counties or even 5?
I swear to God, it took me 10 minutes.
Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started.
Welcome to the Becoming Wealthy podcast. I'm your host, Sophia Bosch, and I'm here with my co-host,
Michelle Bosch. How are you, Sophia?
I'm doing well.
So I hear that you wanted to talk about, how you found your first motivated seller as a high school student last year and how you're finding your motivated sellers this year, 2025. So as opposed to, when you started doing this in 2024. So tell us how you did it in 2024.
Okay, in 2024, I was doing everything pretty much. A part of the reason I was doing everything is because I wanted to learn how to do every single step from within the acquisition part and then within the actual selling of the property part. So within the acquisition, there is picking a county, and
basically a market.
A market where you want, how to send out letters, sending out letters, responding to inquiries about people wanting to sell their property, then figuring out how to talk to people on the phone, negotiating, getting it under contract, and then on the selling side, either how to find a realtor or how to create a listing with the pictures and everything, how to post it, across the board, everything, and how to find that buyer for that property. So I did everything myself. I got coached through the whole thing, but within that, I made a ton of mistakes that set me back months, but it doesn't matter. In the end, I got a deal. So that was all last year, though. Since there has been...
How did you pick the markets, for example?
How did I pick them? So it depends on the ratio of seller or the property sold within the past, I'd say, a year. Sold versus for sale. So if you see a lot of properties for sale and not very many have sold, that's probably not a good thing.
Okay.
And if you see there's barely any on the market, and a lot of them have sold, but they've sold a long time ago, that means there isn't much activity left within the market. If it's the timeline's closer, it might be almost too competitive for you to even get in with the seller at a lower price. So there's different indications. So you kind of want a sweet spot of maybe a little less properties out for sale, but within a good timeline, things are being sold.
Okay, makes sense. What about, was there any sense of the size of the city?
Yeah, so you want it to be around, not within the city because there's big competition within the city.
But you can find infill lots.
You can, but those are hard to come by.
So your focus wasn't infill lots?
It was not. Just starting out, I went a little bit path of growth around the city, but not rural.
Okay.
Not many people want.
So there's three types of land, which are infill lots, path of growth, and recreational land. The recreational land is more the rural land. The infill lots are inside of the city. Yeah. So you went for the middle, basically, which is the path of growth, which is within an hour.
Neighborhoods, nice. There's some recreational area. There's also
close amenities.
Yeah, there's
within an hour driving distance.
Yes, there's good stuff around, or it's in a smaller town. per se. So I focused on those, and typically those smaller towns that were closer to bigger cities were in their own specific county.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would target those counties. And based on the ratio of the sales, the area it was in, I did not.
How long was that taking you?
It was taking me to get my first list of counties. It took me a good week going back and forth. Like, is it?
How many hours do you think you put into it?
Oh God! With also like sending out mail and making
No,
sure it was
just the selection of the counties to run them by your coach. Like
run them by
how long did you spend in basically putting that list together?
at least like 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days. But you didn't spend 24 hours
No.
on those 5 days. So how many hours per day were you spending?
I was. It was a while ago, but maybe like an hour and a half
Per day? Okay,
looking at different counties. If I ran them by, he's like, maybe not that one, and he's like, figure out why. I'm saying maybe not that one. So I then would have to go in and figure out why not that one, and then find a different replacement.
So
for
he
that
was
one on that list.
teaching you how to fish versus fishing for you, which
Yeah.
is a good thing. So okay, so you put in any
So it was a
45 hours, and how big was the
it was
list
a
of
lot.
counties?
5.
5 counties, and in
Well, it
different.
started off by like 7 or 8, but
Okay.
then it went down to 5.
Okay, so you had basically at the end of the day you selected 8, and you went back, down to 5 after him eliminating some county.
Yeah.
And were those counties across different states?
Yes. Or I tried to keep it to like max 3 states
Mm-hmm.
for 5 counties.
Mm-hmm.
But if not 2 states, and the counties would be in kind of similar areas. Sometimes a city will like go over 2 different counties,
Okay.
so you can target both.
Okay, makes sense.
Right
Makes
there.
sense. Okay, so so that was then, and what are you doing different now?
So now there's a software, an AI software that can basically do everything for you.
Tell me a little bit, because I know you learned
So-
about it in our last Land Profit
Yeah,
Live
so-
person event. So
Basically, last time I was targeting minimum of $10,000 market value
mm-hmm.
just to start off. 10,000 all the way to like 100 or a million. Who knows? Or like 25,000. 250. Whoa. 250,000. And then with the AI tool that I learned about, it basically shows you a map of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
with each state,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go with your mouse, click on whichever state you want, and it pulls up a county map
Mm-hmm.
of the state. So it has the little borders and everything, and it has different colors assigned. So green, I'm pretty sure, is like a good county.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to add in before this, you go into like a filter. It asks you what price point. You can also select the region of the United States. What so different things like that to try and figure out where, and then filter out
Type of property that you're looking for.
and then you click the states that are like illuminated green. You click the counties that are illuminated green. Green is typically, it's in your price point. This is a good county. It does all the comping basically of properties, like what is the average market value for for this size of property even. It will tell you if it's a good county to send letters or messages to.
To target.
Yellow,
To target regardless of market.
Yeah.
Because you could cold call there, you could text there, you can send letter.
I believe it's 96% accurate, which is very high. And then yellow is maybe not the best, but you can still do stuff there. Maybe it's like lower price point, or the people have had some issues in the past. selling, or things are being on the market for a very, very long time. Like, it's not quick to sell. And then red is like, don't go there. Bad. It's like, it's either like not in the path of growth. There's no demand for it. There's no demand because maybe it's a bad area.
And how long did it take to basically go through that process of selecting, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 counties or even 5?
I swear to God, it took me 10 minutes.
Like 10 minutes versus the 4 or 5 hours. So,
Or across
and
days.
basically the premise of this is that basically behind the scenes AI is basically
doing all the analysis for you, essentially. And then within the counties, you can even target specific zip codes if you wanted to be that specific. So it really reduces and compresses time for you.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we're actually integrating it with
Really?
Investment Dominator, which is our
That's
software,
exciting.
so that you don't have to go in 2 places, to go look up the the counties and come up with your counties, and then come into the Investment Dominator and get basically your list or your data of potential sellers in those counties. We're basically integrating that into one thing, and
That would be
hopefully
nice.
making it easier, not just for you but also for the rest of
Yeah,
our
because right now it's
students.
different softwares that are pulled up. If it's all together in one, that's even better.
That's even better.
I will say though,
Uh-huh.
I do appreciate my coach making me go through that whole process, because now I do understand how to look at different counties, and if I need to, or if I have a feeling that maybe this county, even though it was green, let me just check it once over. I know how to do that with my own self and my own resources. And I think I will keep
Still double check before you
double
spend
check
money
it.
on marketing.
Exactly.
Amazing.
But I do think people should learn that before, instead of just fully trusting.
Yeah. Or you can spend the money and test, and that
Try it out.
yeah, try it out.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
But as a teenager, I have limited resources, money. I would like to double check personally.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Now, talking about limited resources, for a beginner, what was the cost of this, and what made you, even though we hadn't integrated with Investment Dominator, which is being integrated as we speak, but how much was that service per month? How did their subscription service? I think it was like a monthly.
I think there was a monthly, and I don't want to be wrong, but I think it might have been around 40.
Yeah, $40.
45.
Yeah.
Month.
And you decided that that was the way to go because it was saving you a ton,
Yeah, I might as well.
a ton of time. I'm sorry,
And money.
and
it's funny because
time is money.
well, or also you might, if you do it on your own and you don't know what you're doing and you don't get it checked or something, you could spend a lot of money on a county that doesn't produce you anything.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. How much?
you could be
How much did you spend on to
Mailers?
get that first motivated seller to say yes, like in mailers? Yeah, how much did you?
Okay, so I made a lot of mistakes. So how do we say, like, on average?
No,
or
how
just
many?
for me?
Basically, how much money did you spend? And how many deals did you get from that dollar spent?
Okay, I sent out, I think, 5,000 letters. So 5,000 letters, each at, I want to say, 85 cents. Ooh, what is that?
Let's see, times 0.85. So you spend like $4,200.
Correct. So
And-
that, and say subscription services to like landid.com to find the actual parcel numbers. So that's like another 45 per month. And then if you want to consider I set up a call center that cost me
But that's only if calls would come in.
if only calls would come in, that cost me $50 a month. So
So you're about
because that
so fixed costs are about $150, 40,
Yeah.
50, like under $150. Plus, of course, your actual mailers, which is the bulk of the
So
expense.
let's
And
say
how
like
many, and how many deals did you get from those?
from those, I did not mail to the best counties
Mm-hmm.
because I made a couple errors.
Mm-hmm. And what were some of those errors?
Errors meaning I did not respond quick enough to some people
Okay.
and they got upset.
Okay.
So they were like, absolutely not, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I
They didn't want to hear from you because you were basically not professional.
Okay. Yes, I wasn't. Because how am I supposed to know what to do?
Okay, so now you know that whenever you send a mailer that you need to respond quickly, that people want to hear from a professional conducting business in a professional manner. So that was a great lesson, I think to learn.
Yes. And then from there, wait, what was the question?
The question was basically how many deals did you get from those
Okay.
4,200?
So I didn't pick the right counties. I didn't do that correctly.
And
So
and you didn't
I didn't
Well,
respond in
what-
time. So I got 5.
Well, but you said that the coach had narrowed
6.
down the counties from 8
They
to 5.
did.
So what was the next mistake that you made then, or was that
Oh,
prior
the
to?
next mistake was actually sending an offer to those people. So a
No,
lot
but
of
you said
people.
no, but you said
hold
that the
on.
count. No, wait. You said that the counties were not the right counties.
Or
So
they were good, solid.
Mhm.
They weren't maybe the best, but they weren't the worst. But when I was sending the emails out, a lot of people were calling back. So I got like 40 responses maybe from a county.
Mhm.
But then going through it, I sometimes couldn't get people's information. I couldn't if they like did it online. Sometimes they got the actual parcel number wrong
Mhm.
and they didn't put in their name. So how am I supposed? And they didn't put in a phone number either. So how am I supposed to evaluate a property that I don't have the parcel number or anything for?
Okay.
So those are like I gave up on.
Okay.
It's like not worth my
So
time.
basically, one of the questions that the person answering the phone call needed to have asked was
The people on the phone call were great.
okay.
They got the address of it. They got the parcel number. Great.
Okay.
I'd rather have the people on the phone answer than people submitting it themselves on email.
Okay, gotcha. So it was the email submissions back
Oh,
to
it
you.
was terrible.
Yeah, that it was easier to. So basically, this goes to show that yes, you can automate a lot, and you can make sure that you get all the information that you need, but you're not always gonna get it, and some leads basically may go through the cracks because of that. Whereas if you have an actual human, actually a warm body answering the phone, you for sure got the information that you needed.
And then I will also say that when analyzing the properties, sometimes I would figure out that they're they're worth too little.
Uh-huh.
Like I wouldn't be able to sell it for actually a margin.
Okay.
So those
profit, yeah.
a good profit. So I just send them an email or something saying like, I'm sorry, actually, like I will not be able to sell it. And then
Or to buy it
or
from
to
you.
buy it from you. Sorry. And then the next step is actually comping those deals.
Mhm.
I made countless mistakes on how to actually comp it and value it
Mhm.
because on the county website, their market value,
Mhm.
their county assessed value is just crap. Their market value on there is also pretty terrible.
Not something that you can trust.
No.
You need to actually call realtors in the area and see what properties are actually selling for in order
It's
to.
typically that level is typically far too low.
And the thing is that comping is kind of like part art, part science.
Yeah,
There's-
and so you have to do it enough
Mhm.
in order to develop that like special touch, I guess,
Mhm.
or that
It's mastering.
feeling.
Good feeling, yeah, mastering.
And I just didn't have that obviously because
beginning.
brand new, right?
Yeah.
So I looked at the numbers. I was like, okay, according to the numbers, it's this. And then I would run it by my coach, and he's like, actually, I think you can I think it would be wise for you to offer a little more because I feel like you could sell it for this. Or
Sometimes you
depending on the seller.
want your offer to be so lowball that you price yourself out.
Or it's almost like you make the seller feel like, oh my God, that's rude. Like, that is a rude offer. Why would you send me that?
But some of those offers, depending on the
person,
on the property and
you never know. So
you can still make them. But I get
you can. I know you're a. I know.
I like lowball offers. Yeah. I do. I definitely do. It's a number game.
I know.
So I don't take it personally if they, are upset about it. So, but that's just me. After, again, a lot of repetition, I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. And as a beginner, I can see how you and probably the coach was also eager to help you get to a deal quicker. Okay, awesome.
But I will say there are softwares now that can do that for you.
Yeah, and even Investment Dominator has has an offer calculator right now.
Yeah.
Inbuilt.
Yes.
That is helping.
That was
basically.
It was very helpful. I sometimes tweaked it a little bit, but overall it was in the right range.
So bottom line, to wrap, things up, basically as a high school student, getting your
How
first
did I get my
seller, motivated seller, you've seen the value of knowing how to really pick a market and, get lists of sellers in that market that might be motivated to sell to you. But you've also now experienced, the other end of really technology, and using AI to help you pick markets
and even comp it.
And now
I think in that same software you can put in like the zip code or region or something and it can comp it based on size and everything. It's great.
Yeah. And so and in using technology, you've also noticed, I think, during this process that there are some drawbacks to sometimes, automating the heck out of
there are.
Because at the end of the day, the people that are inputting the data into the system need to provide the data in order for you to be able to work with it. But if they don't input the data, then
I can't do anything.
Yeah. So there's value in systems and automation and technology, but there's incredible value in having a human
connection. Yeah.
Human connection and finding your motivated seller. So, well, thank you, Sophia, for sharing with us, the before and after and contrasting, kind of like how you did it, in 2024, how you're doing it now in 2025, because markets are always changing, conditions are always changing, and it's important for investors to be adaptable and basically, adapting to new trends, new strategies, new tactics in order to make sure that you continue to consistently, have deals coming in and your deal flow is constantly flowing. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, give us a 5-star review, share with another, person in your life that is looking to start investing into real estate, or maybe even a high school student that you know of that would like to start investing in real estate. See you on the next episode, and thank you for tuning in.